What an amazing person sitting here on the red couch with me. She broke barriers, made history, and paved the way for countless women in the legal field. Judge Julia Smith Gibbons has dedicated her career to the pursuit of justice, from becoming the first female federal judge in Tennessee to shaping the future of the judiciary through her work on the federal court budget. And now she is being honored with the Woman of Achievement for Steadfastness Award. Joining us now, United States Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit, Judge Julia Smith Gibbons, retired. Thank you so much for coming. Wow. Okay, so you made history as the first Tennessee female federal judge at age 32. What did that mean to you, and how did you get there?
Well, I got there because I worked for Lamar Alexander during his first term as governor, and I was his legal advisor, and he appointed me to the state court when I was 30, and it happened in a very just casual way. We were sitting around in staff meeting one morning, and he had gotten word that there was going to be a vacancy on the circuit court bench in Memphis. And he said, now who could I appoint to that? He's thinking out loud. And he looked at me and he said, you're not old enough, are you? And I said, I'm 4 months past old enough. I knew you had to be 30. And later that morning, he called me in and said, you'd be good. I'd like to appoint you. And my husband, Bill, and I were coming back.
Bill Gibbons, you know Bill Gibbons. Yes, sir.
Bill and I were coming back to Memphis anyway in about 2 months to return to the practice of law. So it fit very well with our plans.
That is so crazy. Did you realize that, that you were really breaking barriers here? And yeah, what about that? Did you?
Well, there was no way not to realize I wasn't breaking barriers because there weren't any other women trial judges in the state, nor had there ever been. So,
were you nervous, or was it something that you were just like, this just feels right?
I was, of course, nervous at first, and I did a lot of things. I had a few weeks before I was going to take office. So I did a lot of things, reading up. I talked to judges. I talked to some of my colleagues with whom I'd be serving. I went over to East Tennessee to see another young judge whom I knew that Governor Alexander had appointed. So I did a lot, as much as I could, to prepare. And then, much to my surprise, I expected to be terrified, but it felt pretty natural from the beginning. So I think the governor knew what he was doing in some way that I could not have foreseen.
They see things in you, right? Okay, so you instantly became a role model, whether you decided or not. How did you handle the pressure of being a role model and, balancing family, career, all that?
Well, of course, I tried to do all the things you would do. Get out in the community, go to bar events, talk to women who were just beginning to start in law firms. Our daughter, our older child, was 6 months old when I became a state judge.
Oh, my word.
So I have this baby. And our son was born, I'm jumping ahead, but 3 years after I became a federal judge. And it was kind of crazy at our house because, Bill was active in the community, and it was just, there was a lot going on.
Oh, my God. Okay, and so then let's talk about the Judicial Conference Budget Committee. You did that for 14 years. And how is that? That's numbers, right? I mean, but you're working with Congress on the national stage,
Well, you're working first with staff in the administrative office of the courts and with the other judges who are members of the Budget Committee. But yes, then you're the representative of the judiciary who testifies before Congress and to support the judiciary's budget. In a way, it's easy because the judiciary is a good entity for which to advocate. I'm proud of what we do, and I'm proud of how we do it. But on the other hand, yes, it's hard. I would go to Washington, to the administrative office, about 3 or 4 days before I had to testify. And the staff would have, briefing books for me, and I would try to commit to memory every fact that I thought I needed to know in order to do that effectively.
Wow. Okay. And so today, of course, we continue our series honoring the women of achievement, and you are an honoree. Tell me how it feels to be honored and what message that sends.
Well, I think first a little nod to Women of Achievement. I've been following what they do for years. I went to their award dinners when the people they were honoring were people who got no recognition really, except through the acknowledgement before a group that was mostly women of what they had done, what they had contributed to the community, to their line of work. Very diverse group from the beginning, and really remarkable the way Women of Achievement singled out women who, I've gotten lots of attention along the way. Those women had not at that point in time.
So you like to see this, and we do want to put the information on the screen for you. You are welcome to come on out at First Congo Sunday, March 30th. Thank you so much. It's been an honor to sit beside you, Judge Gibbons.
Well, thank you.